In this video, I'll go over how to unprotect cells in LibreOffice Calc. Hi, my name is Michael with Office Nifty. I make quick tips and video tutorials on how to use Calc software. I'll go over two main ways to unprotect cells. They have separate use cases, so one of them might be better for you than another. The first method is if your sheet is already protected and you simply want to remove the protection so that you can modify your cells and edit it as normal. So I'll start with just generating a column of numbers. Now the quick way to apply protection is to go to Tools and choose Protect Sheet. Here a dialog appears and we can put in a password and also choose different options to allow more privileges for a user. Here for the password, I just use something simple. I'll type in Calc, lowercase. And for the rest, I'll leave it the way it is. I don't really want to give the user these privileges. Now I hit OK, and I try to select the numbers that I generated earlier, and I am not allowed to even select it. I'm also using my arrow keys, and as you can see, my selection is stuck at cell C9, and I'm not allowed to move the selection in any direction. So to unprotect, it's very easy. All we have to do is go back to Tools and check Protect Sheet again. And here I ask for a password. If I type in the wrong password, we'll see what happens. It just gives me information dialog saying my password's incorrect. And then I still don't have a way to select the cells. So I'll go back and type my password correctly this time. C-A-L-C. Okay. So now the protection for my cells has been removed, and I can make changes, or I could delete data as normal. Now just a word of warning, if you forget the password or you're using someone else's spreadsheet and they didn't tell you a password, then you're unable to remove the protection. Alright, let's get to the second scenario where we want to unprotect certain cells, but then we want to protect everything else in the sheet. What I mean is, let me fix my column back to the way it was. So here, if I wanted to allow the user to make changes to this column of numbers, I can do that while I also prevent the user from accidentally changing any other cells. For example, I don't want them to change the first cell, A1. The way to do that is first select the cells that we want to keep unprotected. Then right click, choose Format Cells, and go to the Cell Protection tab. And here we have Protected checked by default. I purposely want to uncheck this to indicate that I don't want this selection to be protected. But this is a two-step process. So after I hit OK, we can see that I can still click around and make changes to the data. But then the second step is I can go to Tools and turn on Protect Sheet. Here I'll create my password again as I'll also leave the options like this, where I'll let the user select unprotected cells, but do not let them select protected cells, and also don't allow them to insert or delete rows or columns. So I'll choose OK. So now I'm trying to select cells in column D and column C, and it doesn't allow me to do so. Essentially that means these columns are all protected. However, I can go into the column in B and still work with these unprotected numbers. So here I was able to change the values. I could delete some. And then if I try to click away to column A, it doesn't let me. If I try to change the first cell, A1, I cannot select it. If I use my arrow keys, I can only go to the very top here in B6. I cannot move left and right nor up. So essentially, I've unprotected my cells from B6 all the way to B20. So use case for this is when you want everything in the sheet to remain unchanged, but you want to allow the user sometimes to put in their own numbers or information, and you allow formulas or charts to take those changes into account. To remove protection for the other cells, it's the same thing. We go back to Tools, choose Protect Sheet, and here it prompts for my password, and I can hit OK to unprotect the sheet. So now I can select again cells in other columns, and make changes and edits to the sheet as usual. So I hope this helps. If you have any questions, feel free to mention it in the comments below. Let me know if there's anything else you'd like to learn. But other than that, thank you for watching, and as always, stay nifty.